Dani Alves was the most decorated footballer in history, with 43 trophies to his name. He was part of the legendary Barcelona team under Guardiola, having won every trophy there is to win. He is also considered as the greatest right back of all time, but in 2024 he was sentenced to 4.5 years in prison for. So how did all of this happen? To understand it better, we have to look at Dani Alves' full story.
The Brazilian footballer, former Barcelona star Dani Alves, has been sentenced to 4.5 years in jail.
Brazilian soccer player Dani Alves was sentenced to 4.5 years in prison on Thursday.
Former Barcelona right-back Dani Alves, who we're just learning now has been sentenced to 4.5 years in jail.
Dani Alves was born on 6th of May 1983 in Juazeiro, with his father being a farmer. He played football with the neighboring kids, and because his dad had a passion for the sport, he managed to organize his own team, at which Alves started playing. First, he was a winger, but because of his lack of goals, his father repositioned him as a right back. But still, Alves didn't make money from football, so he had to work as a trader and farmer in his youth. However, he didn't have to do that for a long time, as in 2001 he made his professional debut for Barca, a team in the Brazilian Serie A. On his debut, Alves was involved in all 3 goals, as he provided 2 assists and 1 a penalty for his team, and he kept his performances consistent for the rest of the season. Because of that, he earned a loan move to Sevilla, and after the loan there, he played in the 2003 FIFA World Youth Championship, where he impressed as Brazil won the tournament. And after the competition, his transfer to Sevilla was made permanent. And here a crazy butterfly effect could have happened, as in 2006 Liverpool almost signed Dani Alves, but they didn't want to pay £8 million for him. So just think about this for a second. Manchester United paid 100 million euros for Anthony, but Liverpool in 2006 thought that 8 million for Dani Alves is too much. That's how you know football is not going in the right direction. Returning to our subject, in 2006 Alves signed a new contract with Sevilla, keeping him at the club until 2012. However, only 1 year later Dani Alves handed in a transfer request, but because he wanted to play for an European giant, Chelsea wanted him, and because the two teams were unable to agree on a fee, the deal collapsed. Ultimately, Dani Alves got his dream transfer, as in 2008 Barcelona bought him for £23 million, making him at the time one of the most expensive defenders in history, but one that was worth every penny. Alves made his debut for Barcelona in the Champions League, and in his first season there he won everything there is to win with Pep Guardiola, as Barcelona won 6 trophies in the 2008-2009 season. Unfortunately, Dani Alves couldn't start in the 2009 final, but Barca won the UCL nonetheless. In his second season, Barca retained the La Liga title and won the Club World Cup, but failed to win the UCL, which wasn't a problem really, because in 2010-2011, Barcelona dominated the world and won the Champions League against Manchester United again. And Alves finally started in his first UCL final, which got him to legendary status. In 2011-2012, Alves was part of Barcelona's La Liga winning team, and in 2012-2013 again, as Barca won their 4th La Liga title in 5 years. But in 2014, something really unsettling happened. During a match against Villarreal, Alves was targeted by a Villarreal supporter, who threw a banana at him to racially abuse Dani. However, what he did next shocked every fan. He picked up the banana and started eating it, later saying that it gave him more energy. But it gets even better. The abuser was identified and even arrested after the incident. Many footballers took photos of them eating bananas as a stand against racism. All of their posts went viral. Returning to Alves' performances on the pitch, in 2015 he won his third Champions League title and played a crucial role in that campaign, while also being one of the very few players to be part of a team that won the treble twice. The 2015-2016 season was the last one for Dani Alves at Barcelona, as in 2016-2017 he left for Juventus, where he played in a Champions League final but ultimately lost it. He stayed only one season, as in June 2017 Alves and Juventus mutually agreed to terminate his contract, so he decided to join the oil club, PSG. Keep in mind that in 2017 Alves was 34, but he was still playing in Europe. That's how good he was. But again, he failed to win another Champions League, despite being part of a super PSG team, and ultimately left in 2019 after his contract expired. He then returned to Brazil, Sao Paulo, and signed a contract until 2022. But despite being welcomed with excitement at first, he parted ways with the club in an ugly way, as they had a dispute over unpaid image rights, and right after that his contract was terminated. But what nobody expected is for Alves to return to Barcelona. In November 2021, Barcelona announced the signing of Dani Alves, and at 38 years of age he was unbelievable. Not only that, but he was the image of a returning point for Barcelona, and certainly the highlight of his return to the club was his performance against Atletico Madrid, where Barcelona won 4-2. Dani Alves scored and provided an assist in that match, and only half a year later, in June 2022, Alves announced that he is leaving Barcelona for the second time and decided to sign for UNAM in July 2023. However, while he was still in Barcelona, he did something that ruined his career forever. Dani Alves, like most Brazilian footballers, likes to party a lot, and after his retirement from football, this is what he mostly did. This is where things started to fall apart, as on 30th of December 2022 at the Barcelona nightclub, Dani Alves dragged a woman with him in the bathroom and abused her. At first, fans didn't believe that he would do such a thing, and for a long time everyone thought that he would win this case in court. However, the evidence such as semen that matched Alves' DNA, the complainant's knee injury, and 7 fingerprints around the bathroom all matched the complainant's story. And to add more, the victim didn't know about the evidence while giving her account, while Dani Alves gave at least 5 different accounts of the incident. At first, he said that he didn't know the woman and she only accused him to gain money and fame. Then he said that she just happened to be in the bathroom and they sat there for 15 minutes doing nothing. Alves later said that they only had consensual sex, but he didn't admit it at first because he didn't want his wife to leave him. And despite his best efforts, in March 2023, Joanna Sanz separated from him. But with all the evidence against him, the court's verdict was looking very bad for Dani Alves. And again, despite him trying his best and still saying that he didn't that woman, on 22nd of February 2022, Dani Alves was found guilty of and was sentenced to 4.5 years in prison, while also being ordered to pay 150,000 euros to the victim. Still, he was granted bail if he paid 1 million euros. And just like that, he was a free man after paying the bail. Many questions were raised about the origins of his money, as it was believed that Alves went bankrupt after the accusations. Many reports said that Neymar was the one who helped him pay the bail fee, with Neymar's father giving Alves the money. However, the reports were denied. But in contrast to the controversy, Alves held a lavish party in Catalonia after his release. The mother of the victim said that this is scandalous, adding that the justice system works in favor of rich people. And I mean, is she wrong? Alves still had to turn his Brazilian and Spanish passport to the police in order to prevent him from leaving the country. And now in 2025, Dani Alves is still a free man. Well, not really, but he's not staying in prison, which he absolutely deserves. I can't be the only one who doesn't consider him a legend anymore, despite everything he has done for Barcelona. One mistake is all it takes to ruin your legacy, and this is what ruined Alves Alves forever. He is no longer a football legend, no longer the best fullback in history, and not even the most decorated player ever. This is not a case of women trying to gain money from footballers. As evidence, testimonials and the verdict are all against Dani Alves. We can't take away his achievements, yes, but at the same time we can't ignore the fact that this man sexually the woman, claimed that he didn't, was proven guilty, and because of his power and fame, he is walking free. Unfortunately, what this case tells me more than anything is that money can buy even freedom, and if one is rich enough, he can have everything.